What up, guys? Welcome to episode 105 of Fresh Off the Mats. Here with the Jiu-Jitsu Joes.
What?
It's close to the wall.
Oh,
Give me a move it.
there we go.
I moved mine.
One day we'll figure it out. Why is it so creaky today? Anyways,
I think that one's breaking.
oh, whatever.
It
Then we'll
shifted
get
a
a viral video of me collapsing and breaking my shit.
Fucking dropping, bro.
Damn, dude.
That would hurt.
Fuck yeah, it would hurt.
That would hurt like hell.
I've gotten to the age in my life where little falls that like you know what I mean? Like when you're like, oh, that's not such a bad fall. It's like, nah, that's a bad fall at my age.
My sister got on me because like the whole black eye I have. She's just like, you're hurting yourself too much. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, one, it's the white belts. I can't control them. They go crazy. And I was like, and she goes, you know, the older you get, it's harder for your skin to heal. You're damaging yourself internally. I was like,
yeah.
I'm a dude. Who cares?
No.
Two, I'm not in control. You think I like me? Hey, give me a black eye. I'm not asking for this. It's not like something I want to happen. I don't want to be hurt.
Do you think like your nerves just get more sensitive as you get older?
It's your skin gets thinner.
So it's more
that's
access
what,
to the
yeah,
nerves?
well, that's why. Well, it's easier to bleed. It's easier to bruise. That's why, like old people, you'll see that they got a bunch of bruises all over them. Bro, that'll come from.
Does applying cocoa butter to your skin, does that keep it strong over time? Like as you get older?
Because it's nutrients on the top level, but it's not like it gets sunk in, but it's good for your skin in general.
To like keep it strong.
Yeah, it's just like how you don't want to be in the sun 24/7 because you turn into leather.
Do you see some of these people? We're in Florida, if you haven't figured it out by 105 episodes. It is wild. The people you see where I'm just like,
so
how much
you work
time
on the
do you
beach.
spend on the
When did you
sun?
move here?
2000. I moved to Florida 2015. I started working for Fort Myers Beach. It was 2017.
Was that leather guy who would sell ice cream still working on the beach?
He has like a cart that he pushes on the sand. Yeah.
The leather guy? Dude.
How the fuck do you let your skin get that bad, dude?
That guy, I heard he's not allowed there anymore.
I don't know.
I heard like that it's because he never truly had like a permit.
We dealt with property. We didn't deal with
Because I heard that he never had a permit. It was just he was always around, so people just let him be.
Oh, there's a ton of people on Fort Myers Beach that like, oh, I'm grandfathered in and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, you got away with it for years, but guess what? Like
now someone's saying something because the dude was there like since we moved out here. That was like years ago. And
so when it's like leather, is their skin tougher and stronger?
I don't know. That's what I wonder.
Or more paper damage? Because I know it's
because I feel like it can't be that healthy because of that. Like there's the risk for cancer.
Yeah.
So I feel like it can't be that healthy to be.
I think it's an extreme.
Yeah, to be turned into like dude, you literally look like leather.
Yeah.
Like that can't be good. That means you're not hydrated. Your skin is not hydrated. So there's no way because when your skin is not hydrated, it gets hurt easy.
Bro, it's crazy. Some of the people.
Because that also means he can't flex because it's too dry. He'll probably crack and it'll literally like scab up just from minor things. I feel like that's not good.
I feel like I'm pretty pale for like a Floridian because I literally go from car to house to car to gym to car. Like I don't really spend a lot of time in the sun like that. I don't know.
I get outside for my dogs for dog training, and that's really that's really
true.
when I'm outside. I wouldn't say a lot, but like I get at least an hour a day. A minimum an hour,
which I think is good. I think an hour a day is good. I don't understand those people who are just like, I want to be brown as hell, like where they're just like laying out there and they're putting.
It doesn't look good.
Where they put oil or some shit on them to like get golden brown. Like, bro, like I hate sunburn. Sunburn to me, and I know it's because of what we do. Like the everyday person, huh?
You do get sunburn, right?
Oh yeah, I'll burn bad one time and then it will golden, but like. I don't like it because of what we do. Like rubbing in the gi and like jiu-jitsu.
Any minor irritation gets worse with the gi on, dude.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. I don't know.
I think I've been sunburned like 3 or 4 times in my life, and that's it.
The worst one,
I get it here.
Oh yeah,
that's it. So
your face is always
so I'll burn right here. It's always just right. It's not my forehead. It won't be anywhere else. It'll just be right here, and then the top of my shoulders. And that's all I've ever had for a sunburn. So right here will burn, and then right here. The rest of my body will always stay fine. I don't get burned anywhere else. It's literally only been on my shoulders and my cheeks.
Dude, when I was 21, we went to Vegas for my cousin's bachelor party. He was getting married. And
that's where you learn the heat is different out there.
It was my first time out in Vegas. I'd never been there before. And
coming from New York is different.
I don't know. I'm putting sunscreen, but I'm not thinking about it.
Like every 30
Day
minutes.
one. Yeah. Like I just put it once. I was like, oh, I'm good. Bro, I burned so bad on my shoulders, Mario. Bro, the shit bubbled. It got that bad.
Oh, you got like into that sun poisoning.
And we were drinking. So I didn't even think about it.
Worse.
And then that evening, I'll never forget, we went on the strip and there was a place that had a bull riding thing. And I'm there in a tank top, shoulder exposed. I get on the mechanical bull. I last about all of 5 seconds on it. And when it flings me off, the bottom is cushioned, but it's tarp. Yeah. It's that tarp. Yeah. So my skin hits the tarp off the bull, and it slides. My skin literally slides to the side of my shoulder. I stand up, and my cousin looks at me and a group of friends, and it's just bleeding. It's starting to bleed like crazy. Bro, this ruined the whole trip for me because I had to keep gauze on it and shit. And like
that's a hospital visit.
Bro, it was bad. And I have like, you can't really notice it now, but for years I had like a faint discoloration in my skin here as opposed to the rest of my shoulder. Yeah, it was bad, man. You gotta be careful out in the sun like that.
No, I don't even play. Like I still wear sunscreen. People get on me all the time because, like I said, I don't burn.
Yeah.
But I'm still get to a point where that can happen. But also, I'm gonna protect myself from the fucking sun.
People say, what is it? Past a certain number, it's just all the same. I go the high. I always try to put SPF 100.
30. Past 30, it's useless. It's now a gimmick after that.
Yeah, I always put 100 just for the sake of it.
But like, I'll use the tanning oil, but.
No, fuck that.
So I do that. I mean, you see how I'm already tan?
Yeah.
So it doesn't turn me into like the leather look. It like accentuates my color, which is better.
Yeah.
But I only do that every so often.
But what is the fascination with like women wanting to be the most tan? Like, you know what I mean? There's like this infatuation.
I know.
Like,
so I know because of the bodybuilding sense, it shows more definition.
I get that. But if you're not in bodybuilding,
but I think as a female, you got to think about the definition for them is always going to be curves. So if they get tanner, it will accentuate their curves.
I've always found paler chicks to be more attractive. Like in New York, I dated a lot of like Irish chicks and stuff like.
Because in New York, you're going to run into the fake tan ones where they have to go to the tanning
but even down here, bro, Danielle's not super tan. Like my exes down here have never been super tan people.
You just like white girls,
huh?
You just like white girls.
No, I find that like pale look like I don't know more attractive.
I want vampires.
Even like the famous people that I find attractive, I always forget her name, but there's this famous actress. She's a redhead. She's very pale. She was in was it the Queen's? No,
Emma Stone.
Queen's Gambit. Emma Stone I find attractive, but this is a different chick.
The one that looks like a fish. The Queen's Gambit girl, the chess girl.
No, it wasn't the Queen's Gambit. It was
her eyes are like over here.
Molly's Game or no, something. Oh, anyway, she's a very thick, pale white lady with red hair, and I just find her super attractive. I feel like if she was tan,
it's not the chick from Jurassic World, is it?
Yes. I was trying to think of a movie.
Like she has red hair. I'm trying to think of all the red hair actors.
It's the chick from Jurassic
World. Scarlett Johansson. I don't know her name. I don't know her name.
Yeah, the chick from Jurassic World.
You know how many people were shitting on her because she gained weight? Because from the first Jurassic World to then the second one, she gained weight. And just people were ripping on her. It's not like she got obese either. She just got a few more pounds. Like you tell she thickened up a bit, but it's not like she became obese and disgusting. She literally just put on weight. And I'm like, when I see that, and again, I'm so, like we've talked about playing. We love fitness. We love working out. I'm also someone who knows like, dude, not everyone needs to have a fucking six pack.
Yeah.
She still looked good. It's just that she literally put on weight, and not only that, I think she's like in her 40s or something. So it's like she's not going to want to walk around just fucking looking lean the rest of her life, bro. Yeah,
Scarlett Johansson, another one who's super pale. She's not very tan.
Yeah, she
pale person.
And it doesn't help that she does the Black Widow, so she's always in like all black, so it just accentuates her fucking skin.
It just looks hot, man. I don't know.
Is she a redhead?
Scarlett Johansson? Naturally, I think she's blonde. I think naturally
she's blonde.
Yeah. I think naturally she's a blonde.
Really?
I think she wears the red for.
I don't think I've ever seen her with blonde hair. I want to look that up.
Yeah, I've seen her with blonde hair. She was in.
She's a natural blonde. That's weird. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's crazy.
Speaking of actors and actresses, do you know Dave Bautista, the guy that played Drax? And bro, that guy is 50-something years old, and he did a movie last year where I don't know if you've seen him lately, but he's not jacked like he used to be.
You know, people are shitting on him for that too.
For what?
They think that he's like dying or something. He's like, no, he's just not an active wrestler. He's not fucking juicing to the gills anymore. He's just
Yeah.
He is being a normal dude now.
He's probably off of all the
Yeah, bro.
supplements
He's
and
literally
shit.
just doing jujitsu. I think he's signed up for a few comps a few times, but like he's literally just chilling.
And he's
doing
not a
movies.
little guy. He's just smaller than
Yeah,
he
that's
used
it.
to
He's
be.
not walking around at 300 pounds anymore, dude.
You know the guy More Plates, More Dates? The guy who does the podcast. He calls out like people on steroids and shit.
No, the only one I know is like Goob.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, there's a guy, More Plates, More Dates, and he calls out people that like are clearly cheating and on steroids by their physique. Like he's a doctor, he could just tell all this shit. And he's on steroids, and he even admits, so he's like, there's nothing wrong about just admitting it if
she's
you are.
like a dirty blonde, like brownish hair.
Yeah.
That looks natural. I was thinking like blonde like Mac. Sorry, go on.
He not called out, but somebody like, because he takes requests, said do a video on Dave Bautista's physique change. So he does the video, and apparently Dave Bautista did an indie movie like a year or two ago where he was skinny like the way he is now, but he had to put on weight for the film, and he blew up to like 315, and they pulled up a photo of him and he's like, dude, for a guy in his 50s
to do that,
to blow up that big, to put on up to 315.
But I think Dave came out saying like he's not doing stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, he said
it's not healthy for him. Like it's not good for Dave. Like
that's what the guy was saying.
Yeah,
I think
Dave came
Derek.
out. Yeah, Dave came out and said he was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
He's like, bro, it's not healthy for a guy in his 50s to just blow back.
It's the same thing. Look, Arnold stopped doing it.
He listed like 10 medications he had to be on in order to blow up and put on that amount of weight.
That's the thing. People think like you just take. It's the whole thing with steroids, right? Everyone out there thinks like, oh, let me just shoot test. You don't just take test. You have to take something.
Test is just a hormone.
Testosterone. You're just taking testosterone. You can't just put in testosterone in your body.
Okay.
You then also have to either get an estrogen blocker, because what your body will naturally do when test levels rise, estrogen rises because it tries to keep a balance.
Okay.
So now that you're taking external tests, your test is going to shoot up. You don't want your estrogen to shoot all the way up, because that's also going to, one, store more body fat, two, throw off the levels of test, and it's going to keep your muscle mass from being able to grow. So you have to take estrogen blockers. If you want speed in certain things, like you want to be able to recover faster, because testosterone, yes, in the whole essence of it, will generally help you recover faster, but that's not a guarantee. You can take other steroids, and you have to take
there's different degrees. There's like I've heard people mention
it's a science.
20 different names.
Yeah, it's a science behind it. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to start D-ball today. It's no, dude. Like you gotta.
D-ball sounds like a hardcore drug. Like when people say that one, it reminds me of like 8-ball and cocaine. Yeah. It reminds me of like a hardcore drug, not a steroid.
I mean, when you say tren, the name of tren is trenbolone. Like that's
which
the whole
was
name.
for horses originally.
Yeah, trenbolone. Right? Well, it still is. It's for horses, but that's where you see like the jacked ass horses.
Yeah.
But it's people will take it, and then you can get things like tren cough. Your cardio goes to shit, but you stay stage lean forever. There was a guy I followed on IG before I knew about steroids, and this was like just a few years ago. I think it was like 23, 24, and I didn't know much about steroids because I wasn't interested in that side of the exercise field. But a guy I followed, I was like, how the fuck does this guy just stay shredded? I didn't realize, like in his name, I think his name was like Johnny Tren or something like that. But I'm forgetting the first part, but he put Tren in his title. I thought that was his last name. To be like, this is bad judgment on me. Dude was Asian. So I'm thinking Tren was like an Asian name.
Oh.
So when I read his name, I was like, oh, it's just an Asian thing.
But at least he's upfront about it.
But yeah, because then he started posting up these vials and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw Tren on one. And then I made the connection. I was like, oh, this motherfucker's juicing. Yeah. I was like, oh, but dude, lean all year round, stuffing down pizzas. And this is where I tell people all the time when they point at these people like on social media, and they're like, I want to look like this. Like, are you willing to pay $1,500 a month in steroids too? How about the $500 to $700 of supplements that they're also taking? How about the exercise routine that they're doing for 1 to 2 hours a day, 7 days a week? Because they're not just juicing and then not working out. Yeah. They work out for 2 hours a day most of the time. It's like, are you willing to do that? That's the thing. Like, if you're taking steroids, admit it. That's my whole thing with it. Just admit it. Yes.
In 2024, I don't feel like it's as frowned upon anymore.
It really is.
Like, I feel like in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, it was like this thing because in my opinion, I think back then it was dirty science where it was just a bunch of gym bros
trying to
figuring it out. Yep. But I think now it's gotten so much more accepted and more honed in where it's like,
and the fact doctors are also,
if a guy tells me he's on steroids and stuff and I'm just like, okay, good for you. Like, as long as you're doing it safely and not doing it to the point where like you have a heart attack. Because there's a limit. Like, and I think the problem is that people go past the range where it's like this is a good range, but you have these outliers who go all the way up here.
You see what happened within the 90s and the 80s bodybuilders, dude. Even the early 2000s. It's the reason why all their stomachs started coming out. It's because they're all taking GH, growth hormone.
Oh.
It makes your organs grow too. Everything grows.
So that's why they have the.
That's why all those guys have their abs that stick out. It's the growth hormone. All their organs literally are growing because they're taking all this stuff, and it's just like, at what fucking cost? Like that's why people bring up like the Arnold era. Arnold admitted when he first started, he took steroids, or was it in the beginning he wasn't, and then he started because he was like, I need to be able to compete with the other guys, and they do it.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense at that point. That's why when people also shit on these guys that do, they're like, they can't do it naturally. I'm like, they
I don't think anybody could do it naturally.
You can't get up to fucking 350 pure muscle, dog.
Bro, it's impractical to say like you're gonna get up to that naturally. Bro, you're not gonna look like
it's gonna take you 30 years at best.
And the problem is once you get to that 30 years, guess what? Father Time is now working against you. So now you're doing this, but by the time Father Time catches up, now you're fighting against Father Time. Yeah. And you're in your 40s. Good luck trying to battle that battle, dude. It's a losing battle.
Yeah.
I'm well aware that this is the best my body's ever going to look right now.
Your 20s to 30s.
Maybe to like 35. I know once you get to 35, bro, my body's not going to look like this no more. I'm going to put on weight easier, metabolism, fight all this stuff.
You're going to have to have a lot more discipline once you get older.
Yes.
Like, that's it.
And I'm also fighting the battle of I started off with a handicap where I didn't start working out until I was 18. Yeah. So like I did this for after 18.
I started at 16.
No, I know, terrible. but I was fat and morbidly obese.
You also didn't do sports.
I didn't do any sports.
I did sports growing up.
So I'm well aware that once I get to 35, 36, it's going to slow down. And that's why I've always been open and honest saying that, bro, once I get to like 36, 37, 38, I'm going to gauge it year by year. I can't give a definite year, but at some point, I'm going to go on testosterone. At some point, I'm going to go on whatever it needs to balance out. I'm not going to go to the point of an Arnold where it's like
let me get my
looking like a freak.
Yeah,
I just want to be able to feel like I did when I was 28, 29, 30, 31.
That's why when people
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. For us to use science as a way to live a longer longevity life.
Healthier, and more
wipe
enjoyable.
Your ass. I want to be 80 years old and be able to wipe my own ass.
Enjoy your life. Bro.
Basic shit.
And that's where I think, so you know what I say to people for it is men can take tests just like how women take birth control. Birth control helps control, birth control controls women's hormones. Yeah. For first and foremost, yes, it stops you from getting pregnant. And that's not guaranteed.
Nutting in those
It's like, what is it, 97 or 98%?
I think it's like 98, some shit.
It's something like that. It's a high percentage.
It's high 90s.
There's still a fucking chance that you can get pregnant off it. But then the other major benefit that I feel like should be talked about a lot more is that
you don't have to wear condoms anymore.
Wow, no, stay safe. But
bust nuts and butts.
The hormone control, like that's where it's huge for women. Why is it so shit on for men to make sure that their test levels stay at a good level?
Do you know when women hit menopause? Because I've been listening to a few podcasts and stuff that talk about when women hit menopause in like their 40s typically.
Usually.
They should go to a doctor and get prescribed 50s. Small amounts of testosterone because this counteracts all the negative side effects of menopause.
Yeah.
Because people didn't know that 10 years ago.
Usually what happens, the estrogen starts.
Do you know spiking. Dr. Drew, the podcaster? He's
I might.
He's a doctor. Anyways, his wife was going through menopause and like it was like she was having those swings and like the heat at night and shit like that, hot flashes. And then she got prescribed like a baby. He said it was like a baby amount. I don't know whatever it is.
Like maybe 10 to 15.
And he said the night and day difference that she felt inside to like be more confident in herself.
Just spikes it back up. They also can avoid the weight gain. It's huge. Anyone listening to this, go speak to a hormone specialist. Do not base this off of this podcast. Do not go on Instagram.
We're not doctors. We're not specialists.
Don't go on Instagram and get your info there. Bro, go to a hormone specialist. Speak to them about it and
speak to a professional, not your gym bro at Planet Fitness.
Yeah, you just fucking inject this into your fucking butt.
Gives you some red serum that you stick in your asshole.
Dude, like go see a hormone specialist. Again, it's just like how the other comparison is like how weed is nowadays is dispensaries.
Yes,
like you don't have to go to fucking Homeboy down the block and not know what the fuck you're getting.
Yeah,
it's you got a dispensary. This is where I approve of like not government getting in control, but like having medical professionals be able to take over. Like they take over the hormone control. They can take over drugs. They can take over
government stepping in this aspect. I like it because
what it
makes
should
sure
be is
that
just
things are regulated and safe.
And that's it. They should just allow it and then let the medical professionals handle it. The government shouldn't have the oversight. It should just be like, hey, we're going to allow this for you guys to be able to now handle. Yeah. And that's how, and I think it's going to be just like you said with the research now. The reason why we're able to find it is because it's been more open. Just the same thing.
But we have to thank those cowboys that in the 80s and 90s just did it
Rich
because
Piana.
we would not know about it today had they not done it back then.
Like Rich Piana, right? Do you know him?
You brought him up before. He was a famous. Did he die? No,
yeah, he died. No, he died. Oh, Rich Piana died. It was back in like 2017, 2018. But he died of a heart attack. The guy was also a cokehead too. Yeah. So that doesn't help. But he was also one of like the leading, I guess, pioneers for steroids because he would just test them on himself. Yeah. No, we're gonna see what this cycle does for me. And like he tested a lot.
That is so scary.
But
dude.
Bro, like you said, all these guys from like the 70s, like end of 70s, more so in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, like even up to the 2010s, because it's now becoming more streamlined and normal.
In the last 7-8 years.
Yeah, it's become more normal.
Yeah.
And
if you would have asked Joe 10 years ago, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have been like, no, these people are pieces of shit. They're fucking,
like you would have shit on them.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's just like, no, I get it.
Whatever, I get it, bro.
But that's the benefit is there's more education that came out. It's better.
You got to be able to also change your opinion on things. I don't like this world we live in that like you can't absorb more information and then have a different opinion where people be like, 10 years ago you would shit on that guy. Now you change. Yeah, yes. I'm an adult. It's called growing.
Yeah, like that's literally what I should do. I found better information and it counteracted my previous argument.
And it swayed me over.
And it did what it was supposed to.
Because you get these people who are like, you got to stick to your guns. No. On certain things you can stick to your guns.
If it's like a moral and ethical thing for you, that makes sense.
Yeah.
To stick to it. But if it's not and you're just wanting to just stick to it for the sake of like, I don't want to lose, bro,
you're a fucking loser.
Grow up,
you're never gonna grow. But the thing is, you're never gonna grow. You're always gonna be the stagnant person in life who never grows. You never expand your horizon. You don't listen to the other side. That's why I hate this time of year with like politics because nobody wants to
listen to anyone else.
No one wants to listen to anybody.
Their decisions are already made by now. They're like, oh, I'm red, I'm blue. It's fucking.
That's why I think all this debates and all this bullshit and all this circus leading up to is a waste of time. We should just have the date. Let it come, vote, and go. Why are we having these debates where then we have these hot button clips and we talk about, just have the date. We're not going to make a 5-month circus out of it. November 5th, everybody goes votes and that's it.
I just saw a whole thing on that too. It was like showing all the debates from the past. And someone actually made a good comment because it is very true, is literally all the way up until Obama. Our debates have been very controlled. It wasn't about attacking. It used to be a rule as well that you as like, if we were debating, I cannot bring your name up.
Yeah.
I can't say anything about you. I can bring up policies, things that you might want to go for, right? And make arguments against it. But I can't be like, oh, Joe over here 20 years ago decided to do this, right? Or 10 years ago was doing that. I can't bring you up. I can't bring up your past. I can't do that because that's not what you're there for.
We're not there to slam
the debate is supposed to be about policies and the betterment of the country. And it was showing like JFK.
But you know what happened, right?
Trump?
No.
I will say, I think it's his fault.
No. You know what happened with social media?
Well, yeah.
Because back, even when Obama was president, social media, people didn't videotape things. Things in your past didn't come up.
Thanks, Obama.
No.
That shit was so funny, though.
But you know what I'm saying is like people, there wasn't a track record. Like if you ran a red light 30 years ago, nobody fucking knew.
Yeah.
But if you do it today, everyone fucking knows. Like now everything is always so public. And it's like, bro, we make these false idols where we're like, the leader has to be this pristine person who's never done bad shit in their life. And it's like,
no, that's
just not how humanity works.
That's actually funny. What I was leading with the whole president thing, I believe, and someone made a comment, and that's what made me really think about it. I do think Trump is the headliner on why our debates are where they are now, where it's more of like an attacking fest. I do say it's his fault because of the way he likes to go about things.
Oh, yeah.
Which
he was the first. He was the pioneer to do it.
He was the pioneer to literally like, we're going to start insulting everyone, which I think is dumb. It should go back to the way it was. That one I want to see like get abolished.
But it was catchy because it caught fire on social media.
And that's the issue. Is
if there was no social media, he would have said these things and it would have never
would have been like, hey, stop. Yeah. And that's what. But I also think mediators need to start setting in and be like, we're here to discuss topics.
But we need truly unbiased mediators because even when you see the mediators, you're like,
That's why, like, the last topic we talked about.
Social media shows us the compilation of you,
like having
being
Joe
very
Rogan.
one-sided.
That's true. Like having Joe Rogan literally sit there and be like, "Hey, stay on topic."
Yeah,
like having his boy that gets Joe Rogan back on track. What is his name? The guy that is behind the camera. He's
Jamie.
And Jamie will be like, "Yo, get back on track."
Yeah,
like you literally need that. Be like, "Hey, stop that." Like,
but just also, he has a track record that if you've listened to enough Rogan podcasts, you understand he's not right, he's not left. He's very in the middle on a lot of things. So he has the history behind him. These people off these news stations don't have that same track record or history.
They lean to their side.
And I'm not saying it has to be Rogan, but find somebody who has this long track record over the last 10 years where they've been unbiased on so many things. You stick them in a room, you stick both candidates in a room, and just the producer. And that's it. And we don't have crowds,
no
and all this
nothing.
Shit.
There's nothing else there. You're literally there just to debate. But that's it. The mediator too, I don't think their job is to try to like not mediate. I guess that their whole job should just to be like, one, keep guys on track.
Mm-hmm.
Two, make sure that they don't talk about each other and focus on it. They have 3 minutes to talk about topics.
Yeah.
So you go 3 minutes, you go 3. Bro, you should stay on topic. That guy should be like, hey, get back on topic. The second they start doing insults, shut their mic off. I told you, stay on topic. Yeah. That's it. There is no, that guy should never include anything. He shouldn't have the questions. Questions should be preset, I think. Already have all the lineup for the questions, right? All prepared to go for the people to come up and debate it so that there's also no, okay, the mediator's asking the question. No, the mediator's not asking anything. They're going to state the question that's already been predetermined, and then both guys have to respond and then leave it at that. And if they get off, shut the mic off, stay on topic, go back. Yeah. And then that's how it should go, because it's like, one, we're going to get rid of all this fucking bullshit trying to go for social media clickbait, which is annoying as fuck. God, and then two, that's going to go back to showing people that America, like, we are a superpower, not just in what we're able to do, but as our leadership. Like, what I hate is that
we become a joke to the rest of the world.
And this is what
no other country goes through.
This is what pisses me off. People are like Trump dick riders, right? Yeah. To the fact that they will watch him do this shit and then say that's how it should be. No, it shouldn't. Because that looks like a joke. That's like trying to argue with a fucking child.
But there's dick riders on both sides.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like people will see him do that and they're like, that's the right way. No, it's not. That's improper. That's like arguing with a child. And then you'll see the flip side, people who can't even articulate themselves and just make up a bunch of shit. Like my whole thing with the Kamala thing when she tried to say we don't have troops anywhere currently deployed in a combat zone. We literally, not even a month before that fucking debate, it was 2 weeks prior, we sent our boys back to fucking Afghanistan. It's just like, what the fuck? Just because you're not saying it's an active war zone, they're fucking shooting out there. Like,
it's so annoying.
It's stupid, bro.
It's so annoying that they continue to lie about shit when we're well past the point of you pulling the blind over our eyes. Like, we have social media nowadays. You can't say things like there are no troops anywhere. We know that there are.
We can see.
So why are you blatantly
They're posting
lying?
on fucking TikTok, dude.
It's almost like the candidates think that the world doesn't have social media, that they could still tell us bold-faced lies to our face and not get fact check on it. And I'm like, what are we living in right now?
And then back to your other point, it's going to bring up something. It's been a hot topic now within, I don't want to say the fitness community, but for First Form itself. I don't know. Have you seen it?
I saw somebody say, I think it was Goob online who's
talking about Andy, right?
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know a lot. I don't know.
So I'll give them.
He said something.
I'll give a quick background on it. So Andy was talking about how he doesn't believe that women should be police officers. He doesn't believe that they should be on the front lines because he feels that they over abuse their power due to the sense that they have a gun and badge. Mm-hmm. Now, where a lot of people are angry and where he admits he fucked up because he came out with an apology less than 48 hours after release of the podcast. Before he was even catching backlash for it, he sent out apologies understanding what he said. But the sentence was, if they didn't have that badge and gun, he was just like, if you didn't have that badge and gun, you would get punched in your fucking face and you would end their fucking life. He wasn't saying he would punch them, and a lot of people are twisting his words saying he said it. It's no, he was speaking in general terms of men being able to hurt a woman in that type of power, but the only thing stopping it is the fact they have a badge and gun. So,
I mean, that really is a fact. The only thing stopping a criminal from hurting you is the fact that you have a badge and gun.
And so that's where a whole entire spin-off, again, people are twisting his words, making it seem like he's saying I would do that to people. And he admitted he was very emotional in his response because 10 years ago he was arrested by women. They were berating him, held him at gunpoint, arrested him on the side of a highway, because he was speeding and all that, and he had a bad experience and then let his emotion take over. But here's where I think where the whole growth thing comes into play. One, this guy for the past 10 to 15 years has donated so much money to police officers, to St. Louis, putting in hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars into the local community, to the police force. 2 big departments have now dropped first form, saying that they won't accept any classes from them. They won't do anything with him. They won't associate with him because of his comments. And other agencies and other people are starting to drop from the brand. And it's like, he said one wrong thing. How does that erase everything, all the good stuff he's done? And then he also apologized, admitted he was wrong, and is now trying to move forward with it. But now that's happening.
How many years has this guy been doing the podcast?
2000. I think his
around
first
about
was
5 years, 10 years.
2015 or 16, something like that.
Let's call it 10 years. And what is it, weekly or monthly? This podcast, I don't listen to it. Weekly.
Like he
Bro,
drops,
if
I think,
you
3
do
or 4
anything,
episodes.
okay. If you do, and how long are they? An hour?
It can range anywhere from
Average
10 minutes all the way up to an hour and a half.
Okay. If you're talking for a half an hour every week for the last 10 years, you're going to say some off-color shit at some point in time, because guess what? Humans are humans. We've only been doing this podcast 2 years. An average episode is what? 30 minutes?
30 minutes, yeah.
25 to 30 minutes. We said some awful things in past episodes, not on purpose. It's just conversations that is filmed.
Yep.
Same conversations you have with your boys. We just talked about earlier how over time you grow as an adult and you change opinions. The things we talked about 2 years ago, we probably might not agree 2 years later what they are. This guy's been doing it for 10 years. So cut the guy some slack that in 10 years he made an off-color comment, which most likely is he just didn't word it properly. He meant to say something this way, and it's just the phrasing or wording that got like twisted, and like the message was not conveyed properly.
He's a very aggressive person, so it comes out sounding like he was threatening people.
I understand that, but you gotta cut people slack, bro. You cannot hold people to the fire when they do something that's weekly entertainment for the last 10 years, and they say one wrong thing. You don't think Jimmy Fallon has said some off-color shit in the last 10 years? Wasn't there a video not too long ago where he made a comment towards somebody? Oh, who's the guy? RuPaul Drag Race?
I haven't seen.
You know the show RuPaul's Drag Race? It's about drag queens, and they had the guy RuPaul on it, and he said, oh my God, Jimmy Fallon made a comment. It was a famous video that was going around a year ago where he said drag queen instead of whatever their term is. Anyways, he said something.
Drag queens?
He said drag queen. To be the first drag queen on the cover of this magazine, and RuPaul just joking goes, drag queen, and you see Jimmy Fallon's facial expression like, did I just use the wrong terminology and fucking cancel myself? Bro, people are humans. They get to say things, and it just is what it is. It's not a big deal, bro. No. The guy came out and apologized 48 hours later. He cleared it up. For people to have this harsh reaction where we have to attack this guy now is like, ridiculous.
Oh, his true colors came out. His true colors. Dude's been donating millions. Like, bro, your true color. Not only that, a lot of people don't know all the other things that they donate. He donates to the kid shelters. He donates to homeless shelters. He donates to make sure that women within the area that have been beaten and have been abused and have gone through hardship are getting clothes, fed, and housing. He donates to Haiti to make sure that they build up communities in Haiti. Like,
you can't judge somebody off the 1% where they don't act in line. Because guess what? In our everyday lives, we have all done things we're not proud of. Let's not pretend like no one's made a fucking mistake.
How many
or said the wrong thing
have said the most fucked up shit and then realize they were like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But how many of those same people will also publicly announce that they fucked up and then apologize for it?
Yeah.
Most people can't even fucking be like, oh, I did fuck up. I said the wrong thing.
Most people can't apologize in private, let alone to the public.
To the public, bro.
So, bro, cut the shit, man. It just is what it is. I don't think it's a big deal. I'm still going to
get his stuff,
eat their stuff, and wear their clothes. And I still appreciate the company. I like what they do. I tag them in all the stuff that I can because I like the company.
And all the people.
And I truly stand behind what they mean and what they do. And I see all that stuff. Bro, just because the owner makes an off-color comment, who gives a fuck, dude? Yeah. Seriously?
People want to just be all upset. And another guy I follow, he made a really good point. He goes, you know the worst part about this? The amount of people that I saw that didn't even bring it up, that didn't care, up until other people decided to be angry about it. It's like, so
I didn't know about it, and I follow First Form people.
So all of a sudden, you just decided to be angry. You weren't even angry before. When you heard it or seen it, you didn't care. But then all of a sudden, because the mob got angry, you were like, let me join the fucking mob. Like,
we
dumbasses.
all got shit we're not proud of that we've done in our past. And to anybody out there who thinks that they could just, oh, I'm perfect human, you have the darkest shit that you're hiding. Those people you got to worry about.
No,
all right, guys. We'll see you guys next week for episode 106.
106.
My ass is falling asleep. Boy.
Sure they want to know that part.